Hello, listeners. This is your podcast host, Afsa.
And I'm Beks.
And as you heard, there was not a third podcast host to tell you that they're here and happy to be talking to you because my dear cousin Felicia is on vacation in Mexico. And despite committing to this podcast recording today, she is unable to attend. She can hear this. She can hear us ragging on her. We love you, Felicia. Hope you're enjoying your vacation.
Do we?
Anyways, we love Felicia, and she'll be back for the next race. I think. I can't remember how long this vacation is. Probably.
Yeah, she'll be back by the next race.
All right. You'll hear her for Spain. But all right, let's jump. Bex, do you want to do fashion or news first? It's just us, so we can do whatever we want.
Let's do fashion. Let's start that off.
Okay, we're going to do Project Runway and what not to wear. And guys, we cheered. We have both of us, even Bex. We have content today.
Yes, so, I have stopped my protest, but it's a temporary pause because I don't know what's going to happen next week. It might be back on next week.
We might be back. All right. Well, I'm going to start first with my what not to wear. And I actually don't think it's a horrible outfit. I just hate the outfit. And it is Lando Norris in this leather jacket. I have issues. I have a couple issues with this. I actually don't have a problem with the necklace. I think having your team merch as a necklace is actually a little bit swag. I would appreciate more if it was like a diamond chain. I think that would have been swaggier, But I'll accept this. My problem with this jacket is I feel like it is ill-fitting, and yet it is from his own brand that he is like heavily partnered with in Quadrant. And I'm like, Quadrant couldn't get you a jacket that fits you properly? That like, it feels like it's well fit in the torso, questionable in the arms and shoulders, and then weirdly fit in the neck. I don't know if the leather's like warped or if he's like unbalanced, like his shoulders are not equal and balanced, but it's weird where it's making it look like he has one shoulder that's like way more built than the other. And I think that they should have given him a better fit jacket. Otherwise, I think this is fine. Hair is part of the outfit, and I have questions about the hair, but
that's a big question.
That's neither here nor there. I think it's a meh outfit, and as per usual, we don't really critique team merch fits, and his other outfits were fine. I think his McLaren cardigan, his two-piece knitted McLaren matching set, was an honorable mention for what not to wear. I think that's kind of crazy. I think a McLaren matching set, kind of wow. And in case you didn't see it, I'm sending it into the chat right now, Bex.
Okay.
And my Project Runway, as I'm sure nobody was shocked, is Lewis Hamilton in his white suit, looking #stunning in white, to nobody's surprise. I loved it. I'm glad the Fashion Lewis is back. He was fashionable multiple days in a row. We cheered so loud. Thank God. And I loved it. It was beautiful. It was like buttoned up. It was like oversized, but casual, but looked good. And he had a vest on. It was great. Bex, how are you feeling?
So you actually took my what not to wear this week.
In Lando's
Lando's.
The matching set or
the leather jacket.
Okay. How do you feel about the matching set?
I don't mind it if I'm just glancing at it. I don't mind it. If I look and I inspect, I hate the logo things on it. It's horrible. I don't like it. But from a distance, from a glance, I don't think it's as offensive as the leather jacket. Is just a little bit too eye-catching and a little bit too in your face. So I think I dislike the leather jacket more than the matching set.
Understood.
So as my runner-up for Project Runway, I'm actually my runner-up for what not to wear. It's been a minute, y'all, so I'm a little lost. But my runner-up is actually going to be Lewis Hamilton in this sweater Oversized
I like
baggy
that.
sweater with the flared pants. I'm not sure what texture or what fabric, I'm sorry, these pants are. But I actually don't like this look. I don't like the pants. I don't like the jacket. I don't like them together, I think. I think if they were done individually, I might like them better. I do love the
I agree with
necklace,
the textures. The textures are interesting together.
yeah, and I think
Because the bottom is like a beach yacht outfit, and the top is I'm a little chilly.
Yeah, but as I zoom in on the texture of the jacket, it's not. I can't place it.
I
Of the
think he should have.
sweatshirt,
I think he actually should have done a matching set. Like I think he should have done an open shirt of that bottom material, and it would have been like
yeah.
appropriately beachy.
And then the shoes are also throwing me off because they're giving me like cartoon character boots. I don't know. It's
Leave
just
this
not.
man and his boots alone. Y'all never let him live with his boots.
It's not working for me. So unfortunately, Lewis is getting my what not to wear. Fortunately for Lewis, I am going to give him my Project Runway because that suit that he wore on race day was impeccable. No notes. He looked great in it. The white cream, whatever you want to call it, it looked so good on him. I would love if he could continue along this road, give us Fashion Lewis back. We miss him. We love him.
Please.
We just need him back because these other girls are not giving us anything, and it's getting ridiculous. Like,
we're begging.
I'm tired of Team Gear. Side note, the fact that they went to a movie premiere and they all wore Team Gear, criminal.
Except for Lewis and Charles.
I think it was one more, Alonso. But what was
Alonso came to dress right.
Yeah, but like criminal. They could have just dressed up like, and I'm not saying they need to go like red carpet, crazy like movie premiere type of fabulousness. I didn't need that. I just needed some effort, and the fact that you couldn't even give me effort. I mean, all the girlfriends and wives and whatnot, they all looked pretty, which was nice. But I would like to see some of these guys actually
match the effort.
Match the effort. Thank you.
Your girlfriend should not look that good while you look like a bum.
Like a bum. Ugh, it's so atrocious.
All right. We can get into F1 news, and I actually completely forgot about the F1 movie premiere that they did with the F1 racers. One, the fact that they did, because my understanding is they did that as part of Cannes, as part of the Cannes Festival.
I don't know. I can't.
And I think that's criminal. I think putting the F1 movie at the Cannes Festival is kind of disrespectful to Cannes. But that's besides the point. We had the F1 movie premiere to the F1 drivers. And honestly, I don't want to talk about it much because we didn't get much out of it. But what I will note is that all of the drivers, probably because they had to, came out and said that it was pretty good. Like, it was good. They enjoyed themselves. They had a good time. They noted that, like, some parts were unrealistic for, like, extra pizzazz. But, like, overall, they enjoyed watching for the most part. And to this, I want to say, if the F1 drivers can accept that it's not going to be realistic, so can we. I think that people need to accept it's not going to be realistic. And that's Hollywood, baby. If you want a documentary, go watch something else.
I was trying to see when it comes out. It comes out June 27th. June 27th.
1 month from today.
Oh, crazy.
Are you going to go watch it in theaters?
Yeah, I'll probably give it a shot. I'll go watch it.
I think we have to. I think we're obligated to as F1 podcasters.
I think so. I think I can convince Felicia to go and see it with me, maybe.
You guys will get a hot off the presses review from all of us.
Yeah, sure. The thing is, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not that excited to see the movie.
I'm not excited at all, actually. I don't want to see a Brad Pitt movie.
Also, I was just about to say, I'm not that big of a Brad Pitt fan where I'm like, I need to go see it. But I will see it for the plot.
Yeah. I have feelings about Brad Pitt that I won't say on the pod because bitches love to be litigious. Very litigious.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But I will say, someone did note that all of the drivers, the common comment that they all had was basically they think the fans would like it, but no one actually said they liked it themselves. Like full, like a full throated.
I think Esteban Ocon is the only person who said he liked it.
Oh, okay.
So I think Esteban did say like, "Oh, it was good. Like I enjoyed myself."
Yeah. So, and also too, I'll go and support Sir Lewis Hamilton, since he is a
Yes, Lewis is
producer.
getting a cut, so I'll go support him.
But I'm just a little nervous. That's all.
I think it's going to be questionable.
It is, but we move.
All right. Next up is the new racing suit for, and Bex, you wrote Ferrari. I want to be clear. Charles Leclerc. Lewis did not wear a special suit.
Do you know what? When I first saw it come out and I saw like Ferrari's post, I was like, oh, I guess Lewis didn't want to model the suit. That's funny. Haha. Whatever. It wasn't until like I think I was looking back at pictures of race. I was like, he didn't wait, what happened? I did not realize that it was just for Charles. And that's it.
My question is, what are they going to do for Silverstone?
Exactly. Like, is this sort of like now going to be a thing where like all the drivers at home race get like a special suit?
Well, I think it's just Ferrari doing that, TBH.
I know. Well, you never know. As soon as someone starts it, then the next person starts it.
That's true.
I mean, it was okay. What did you think about the suit?
I thought it was all right. You know, it was white. It was blue. I do think that it is tragic for them that Miami and Monaco are so close together. I am still extremely annoyed at this mismatching blue situation. I think HP needs to suck it up and let them use a different blue. I understand that the brand loyalty, you want to be brand identifiable. I get it. I promise you, the big fat HP on his back lets everybody know who you are. Okay? Switch up the blue. Or we don't do special race suits that use blue. One of the two.
No.
Sorry. I'm just now tapping in to the HP on Charles's hat in the promo photo. That's a different color blue. That's the color blue that's on the suit.
I would just like I don't know how many times we can say this, that HP is going to be Ferrari's downfall when it comes to like its iconicness. Mm-hmm. Like there are so many ways that they could have like done like the HP blue in the suit, or done just like the HP in like a black without the blue, something. There's so many ways to do, because no one really thinks like recalls that blue that it correlates with HP. So I just feel like I don't understand why HP has such like a vice grip on this color. I think the suit would have looked a little bit better if it's just a little bit more cohesive. I did like the hat though. I was like, oh, I could get the hat, but then I realized I didn't really want the hat that badly. Mm-hmm. But I thought I thought the hat was cute.
I thought it was cute. And
I like the pattern of it. Wait, that's not what is that? Is that Lord help me, Jesus? Why am I stuttering?
It's like little pinstripes.
Oh, I was about to call it like seersucker or something. I don't know why.
Okay. But
no,
this is actually
my brain was just.
That's okay. I was going to say that this is actually a great segue.
Into what?
Into Charles Leclerc's Monaco merch for pets. He released a couple of items in the Charles Leclerc capsule with Ferrari, specifically pet items. Great, because I'm actually about to ask you a couple questions. I'm going to tell you the items that are in this capsule, and I want you to guess the price of the items. Okay. A sweatshirt for dog. A small dog. About Leo's size.
A sweatshirt. A little cropped sweatshirt for a dog. How much? Cropped.
It appears to be... you know what? I'll give it to him. Maybe it's not cropped.
So, because we're doing this, I actually want to go higher than what I think. I'm just going to go with what I think would be reasonable. I would say $30.
Okay, we're going to hold, and I'm going to tell you the price of all of them at the end. Next up is a leather dog collar. How much do you think a leather dog collar from the Charles Leclerc Ferrari
real
capsule?
Leather?
Probably real leather. I would hope so.
I'm going to go with $20.
Okay. And last, the Ferrari X Charles leather leash. This one is in light blue, so it's dyed leather.
$45.
Great. Okay. The cropped or maybe uncropped sweatshirt for dogs.
30 or
the one that you said was like
25?
30 something. I think you said 30 something dollars.
Yeah, $30.
$350.
Oh my god.
The leather dog collar, $290.
Now that is some.
And the leather leash, $320. If you wanted to outfit your dog in full Charles Leclerc regalia, it's gonna run you almost $1,000. And if you want to get the dog both colors of the crop top, you're gonna already be throwing down a rack for the dog.
That is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. $300 for a sweatshirt for a dog.
Yes, correct. For comparison, I'm going to go to Charles Leclerc's capsule for a regular human sweatshirt. You know what I'll give him? His human sweatshirts, $690. So the dog is about half as worth as much as you are.
Why are they so...
Oh, actually, I'm seeing a Charles Leclerc hoodie for $1,250.
Wait, drop the link real quickly.
Okay.
Because my brain is like shorting out on me, and I'm not understanding things.
Here's the link to the human sweatshirts.
Okay.
And then here's the link to the pet items.
Oh, okay. I had to stop. And now I'm seeing this is a Ferrari. I guess
Ferrari collab with it's the Charles Leclerc capsule for Ferrari.
So I do know that Ferrari is actually criminal in the way they price their clothes. They will price a hat for like $500. This is still criminal. It just says Ferrari in light blue.
Now go to the pet items. The pet items I actually don't even think are branded.
I'm not even gonna lie, this Ferrari Charles jumper, I guess like 3D jumper, very cute. I'm not dropping $1,400.
Yes. Okay, I take it back. The dog sweatshirt has the word Leclerc on the hood and Ferrari on the back.
But what if my dog's name is not Leclerc?
Well, sounds like your dog's name's gonna be Leclerc for $300. Your dog's name's gonna be Leclerc.
The leash is just a little strap.
Correct. But it has a Ferrari horse on it. It says care Ferrari.
If the strap was gifted to me in the mouth of a horse.
This doesn't look like leather. Am I going crazy?
I was just about to say, I'm getting leather. Close. That looks like nylon.
Okay, the handle?
That's not just the little thing with the horse's leather.
Made of jacquard ribbon. The handle also made of leather. Not true.
When you go to materials on the leash, it says polyester, recycled.
I think that they have an interesting relationship with the truth. This is not leather. The only leather on here is a little leather thing with the Ferrari on it.
It features refined leather inserts.
What does that mean, bro?
That they have insert. It's not even inserts. It's one piece, one small little thing, like pinky sized piece of leather, and they're going to refer to the leash as a leather leash.
Yeah, I think that they're actually insane for this. I think this is criminal action.
Is correct. Ridiculous.
$320 for a leash is crazy.
For ribbon. With the Ferrari logo on it. That's what it is.
Somebody bought that, I'm sure.
Well, this is not something you make if you don't think that someone will buy it.
Of course. So. They have their market. All right. Next up is, and I don't think we talked about it last week, but if we did, feel free to cut me off. The
Okay.
Imola technical directive on wheels. I don't think we talked about it. So in the Secret of Night,
Okay.
they released a technical directive, basically around like wheel management and body work, right before Imola.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't think most fans were aware of. And essentially, like, I mean, that's the end and gist of it. They said that it, I'm trying to find the specific one that this technical directive was around, but of course they're vague as hell because they always are vague as hell, and nobody wants to say that it impacted anybody. But essentially, like, you have to treat your tires differently, and you couldn't have like specific wheel body work that I believe was around like the cooling of the tires. So
was this due to McLaren?
McLaren claims it was not due to them.
Okay.
Claims.
We did not talk about. I think that came out like right after we finished filming last week.
Yes. So oh gosh, I'm trying to find more specifics on it, but nobody wants to spill the exact tea. The FIA is saying McLaren's above board. They're just naming the like different technical directives. They released a technical directive around design of wheel bodywork and tire treatment. It is around. It clarified design ideas in the area of tire treatment, such as those relating to the use of water cooling, which would not be allowed. No indication that anybody was using water cooling to cool their tires, but they released a technical directive around it. They also released one about skid block design and how the depth of the plank is measured when they like test the cars. But just a heads up in case this comes up in any future races. And we'll see if it affects anybody. People are speculating that that's the reason Max was able to scoot one out in Imola.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did see that. And that's like how McLaren's be able to preserve their tires.
Yeah. Yeah,
we'll see. I guess I don't really have anything to comment on it, really. It's just...
It is what it is. We'll see.
Yeah, interesting. Let's see who gets pulled out.
We will see.
For cheating.
This next piece of news, listeners, I have been keeping secret from Beks all day. Beks, have you been online recently and looked at anything going on with Lewis Hamilton?
Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. I saw one thing. It was on Instagram. It was a video. Is that what you're referring to?
So there's actually two videos.
Oh.
Video number one is of Lewis Hamilton leaving a restaurant with a woman. We don't know who this woman is. But leaving the restaurant, seeing the paparazzi, which are typically not allowed in Monaco, and hightailing it back inside before eventually coming back outside and leading his dining companion we don't know what the tea is, but his dining companion away into the night.
Okay, I have seen that video.
You have seen that video.
And that video lets me know that
he is saying that that's his new girlfriend.
Oh,
that's what the streets are saying.
I mean, I don't really think I got the best of look from.
Yeah. Now, here's actually the video that I know you didn't see because it's been deep in the depths of Stan Twitter.
Okay.
After the race, Lewis hit the clubs. And what did we see but a video of Lewis grinding on some blonde white woman, getting down in the club.
Was that... I remember the girl
dinner.
Leaving the dinner was blonde.
Hey, I don't know. I'll send you the video of Lewis up in the club. But the tea is Lewis has at least one woman. At least one woman he has interacted with, you know.
Oh, wait. She was blonde.
Okay, so it could be the same woman.
Blonde-ish.
I saw people saying it wasn't the same woman, which, like, I don't know how I'm supposed to know that, but I don't know how y'all got a good enough look at her face to figure that out. But
that's what I'm about to say. Like, it doesn't really seem like it's. I can't. No, it's not the same.
Not the same woman.
This woman looks like she almost looks like she has a bob. I don't know if that's just someone cutting it off.
With the bob.
And also, too, the other girl was like a dirty blonde.
This one's bright.
This one's bright blonde with her roots very dark.
Yeah.
So
maybe two different women. Maybe she got a hair appointment Sunday morning and she ain't watched the race. Who knows? But what I do know is we're back to Freaky Deaky era Lewis.
2016 Lewis is back
We're back to Freaky Deaky era. Bring it back. Next thing you know, Lewis is going to be at Carnival. He's going to be cutting up.
Losing his flipping mind.
And we can't wait.
I like a Wild Lewis, but I also have got to know that man is creeping on 40.
I like Wild Lewis. What I need Wild Lewis. I don't need pining over Nicole Sharon's or Crazy Lewis. We don't need Crazy Lewis back. We need Wild Lewis back because he was a little crazy when Nicole dumped him. Okay, we don't need that.
Man lost his mind.
He lost his goddamn mind. But we need Wild Lewis, not Crazy.
I think we've talked about this on this show about him singing her song.
Yes, exactly, on Snapchat stories. We don't need that. We need you grinding on people at Carnival, okay?
But no, I actually would love to see Lewis like settle down, like this whole, because like it's so crazy. Like you have these kids who are like, well, I was supposed to go down a road, but it doesn't really matter. I would just like Lewis to settle down a little bit. The man's almost 40,
and that's understandable.
You know, like. Settle down, sir. You can still be wild and crazy, but be wild and crazy, settle down with someone. You know? He needs to find his crazy match. There's some woman out there who's just as crazy, just as emotional as he is. That's what he needs to go and find.
And that's what he needs. All right. Next up is some team principal tea. Bex, you actually reminded me to add this. According to Build, very unreliable F1 newspaper. Very. Yes. So take all of this with not even a grain of salt. Those little salt platforms they like to cook things on sometimes. Take one of those. Apparently, Ferrari has reached out to Christian Horner to bring him to Maranello. In what capacity? Who knows? Who knows? We have no clue. Great Britain News has also pulled this up. And
Great Britain News quoting, are they citing Build as their source?
I'm sure they are. I am so certain. Yes, according to Build. They're saying, but the thing is, I'm getting more details now. Build is saying that he is in for the team principal spot. They're saying they're getting rid of Fred and bringing in Christian.
So, here's what I will say. I don't believe it on its face. Because, what the hell?
Neither do I.
But, I also didn't believe all those reports about Lewis going to Ferrari back in the day.
And then, February 1st hit.
So, it's almost like where there's smoke, there's fire. And I don't think anyone's just pulling things completely out of their ass. Mm-hmm. Just arbitrarily. So, I feel like it may be like a twist of the truth, like, oh, maybe they saw him having a conversation with someone like the CEO of Ferrari or something like that. And that's sort of how it spread. So maybe
there's talks to replace Fred, but just not with Christian Horner.
Christian Horner, something like that. I think that if Christian Horner comes in, I think if Christian comes in, I don't think that means more than likely Lewis is not staying.
I don't know.
Do you think?
I don't think Lewis is going to quit Ferrari over Christian Horner.
I don't think he would. Maybe this is. I don't know if.
I don't think he would sign a 5-year extension.
I don't
Horner there, but I don't think
they would re-sign him.
I think that people. Here's the thing. I think people forget that Christian Horner is just a slimy little rat. Okay. Yeah. He's just a slimy little rat.
Yeah.
Christian Horner will absolutely be re-signing Lewis Hamilton if he can. I think that people think that Christian's dislike of Lewis is personal.
Oh yeah,
and I don't think it's personal in the slightest.
I think
that he knows that he wants Lewis there for like vibe and branding and like money reasons, right? Like, I think he's Gucci gang with Lewis there. He's Gucci gang if somebody who can give them more than Lewis is there. Like, I think that if anything, it's more of like a does this overall work for everybody vibe.
But I also feel like Christian is a slime.
Well, yes, of course.
And I also feel as though he does not have that connection to Lewis that he does like a Max. So I feel as though if any opportunity comes up to sign whoever, I don't know who that person may or may not be, but I think if something bigger and better comes along, he has no problem kicking Lewis to the curb.
That is true.
And if I'm Lewis, and I know I'm not, like, I know Fred loves Lewis. Fred is going to try and keep Lewis for as long as he can and get as much out of Lewis as he can until Lewis is probably ready to go. If I'm Lewis in that situation, I'm not sticking around if they sign, if Christian Horner's the new team principal at Ferrari. I'm not sticking around. If that means retiring, going back to Mercedes, even though I don't think Mercedes wants him at this point, but going to another team, I'm leaving because I can't trust that man. If I can't trust you, I can't work for you.
That's real.
That's what real. I would do if I was Lewis. So I think it's quite interesting. If I would love to see, I think this past year we got a whole lot of driver mix-up. I would like to see some team principal. I would like to see Toto Wolff move, even though he's never going to. I would love to see Christian move on. Fred can stay. He hasn't been at Ferrari that long. I don't know. I'd just like to see a little bit more movement with team principals. I think that could be interesting. Do we know? Side note, sorry. Do we know who's going to be team principal for Cadillac? Have they announced that
I don't
yet?
think they haven't said.
Because I saw something. I think it was on Kim Illman's page, and I thought I saw something about like a Cadillac team principal's wife, but I couldn't figure out any information from it. Oh yeah, they do have a team principal.
Yeah.
I can't. Graham Loudon. I don't know if I'm saying it. It's Graeme. Last name Lowdon.
Interesting. We'll look more into him. We'll see if he has anything for us.
Hopefully.
All right. Our next piece of news, hot and fresh, is the Formula One PepsiCo partnership. Bex, have you been read into this?
No.
So, Formula One and PepsiCo are partnering until 2030. And they are joining with the powerhouse products of PepsiCo, being Sting Energy, Gatorade, and Doritos. So let me walk you through it. Sting Energy is going to be the official energy drink of Formula One. Have I ever heard of Sting Energy? No. But they will be the official energy drink of Formula One. Okay. Gatorade will become the official partnership of the F1 Sprint. So note, you're going to start hearing the Formula One Gatorade Sprint from now on. So be ready for that. And Doritos is going to be the official savory snack partner of Formula One, bringing Doritos to fans at every turn, whether in the stands or on the sofa. That's a quote, because I don't know what that means. They're also extending their partnership to F1 Academy, so that's good. And they will also be giving all the soft drinks and snack portfolio at F1 Grand Prix starting in 2026. And they're going to have like F1 themed packaging, promotions for like PepsiCo stuff. But I have to say, this is all but guaranteed that I will not be attending an F1 race. Because the fuck do you mean I'm going to try and go get a little soda to treat myself? And I have to drink Pepsi and Starry?
Oh, yeah.
Get the fuck out of my face. Get the fuck out of my face.
Oh, no.
Get out of my face. That's a joke.
Oh, I forgot how much I hate. I wasn't even
Starry is so bad, bro.
I wasn't even actually thinking of, like... I hate Pepsi products.
Yes.
I don't even like Pepsi.
Correct. It's bad.
So, like, in Texas, like, I will say the one thing is that, okay, I'm a Dr. Pepper girl. Dr. Pepper is its own bottle company,
Yes,
separate
of
from
course.
Coke, separate from Pepsi.
That's how they maintain their great quality.
I mean, so usually wherever I go, even if it's Coke or Pepsi, I can always find Dr. Pepper because it's separate, and they usually just add Dr. Pepper in. But I found that when people are like sponsored, they don't bring in anything else. So I will never be able to find Dr. Pepper, even in freaking Texas, even at the USGP, home of Dr. Pepper. I would lose my flipping mind.
Yeah, Queen, I think you're gonna be shit out of luck.
I might just be drinking water. I hate Gatorade too.
I'm a big red Gatorade fan because I drink it when I'm hungover, so it has associations of healing to me.
So I'm just curious. You may not have the answer, but how did that work with like Red Bull?
Well, Red Bull,
like Monster.
I think because they're like not. It's one of those things where it's like those like the teams who have those sponsors are under the Formula One blanket, but they are not Formula One the company. And so it's just like Max can have as many Tag Heuer sponsorships as you want. Red Bull can have Tag Heuer all over that goddamn car. F1's still partnered with Rolex. And they still have the Rolex doing the clock. Same thing.
Not anymore.
Yeah, they do. We literally saw it at the last race. They're still doing Rolex. It's Rolex and Louis Vuitton now.
No, I thought they switched. No.
What?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, it ended last year. What are you talking about?
Oh, you're so right.
I was like, maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're right. You're right. I just wasn't paying attention.
Because I remember who did the clock for F1.
Tag Heuer?
It's ugly. I think it was Tag.
Oh, it's ugly because it's Tag Heuer, yes. But the same way that, like, back before. Tag Heuer is back this season. So last year, the same way that, the same way that, like, ugly. Puma is one of the official F1 partners, but other fashion brands, like AlphaTauri had a team,
Yeah, that's true.
Same thing. But yeah, we'll see how the Gatorade... I want to see how they're going to integrate Gatorade into it for the sprint races. Because we, Americans, know what they should do to integrate the Gatorade into it. And we know they should dump that Gatorade canister on the sprint winner's head. We both know that that's what they should do. They're not going to, but we both know that that's what would be.
They're too classy.
They're too bougie. They don't even have a podium. They just have a picture for the sprint race. And so, like, you got to add something to the sprint race. Dump them with Gatorade, and it'll be fun and funky.
It's too American. The Europeans will lose it. It's so associated with American football.
Yeah.
No, they would lose it.
They would. All right, and our last piece of F1 news, at least that I have, maybe you have others I haven't hit, is the Disney and Mickey and Friends collab.
I did see this.
Now, I am quite confused. I'm pro this because I think it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
What does this mean? They are saying that they're going to collab through experiences, content, and merchandise around the globe. So my question is, are you going to have, also on a complete side note, for some reason, as part of the announcement for the Disney F1 collab, they brought out Roman Grosjean? I'm just confused why that happened. Besides the point. I'm interested in what that's going to amount to. Like, is it going to be an F1 ride at Disney World?
That was my first thing I thought of, was like an F1 ride.
I'm sure they're going to do like an F1 ride. They're going to do collab merch, obviously, but like it's easy to do collab merch,
Yeah.
Just slap both logos on there. Slap Mickey in an F1 car, bam, collab merch, But I'm curious what they're going to do that's going to impact Formula One.
To be honest, I don't even know if they know yet because this announcement doesn't offer anything.
No.
And so maybe F1 was like, let's just take the money and we'll figure things out as we go.
That sounds like
I will say the Disney car, the livery, the Mickey livery.
It was cute.
It was cute. I was like, oh, okay, I would like to see this.
It was very cute. I liked it.
I know. I don't know. Disney money. I could see merch. I could see a ride. I could see them. I could also see this being, well, I don't know. I was going to say I could see this being popular when they do like the US GP.
Maybe, yeah.
Make it like
Miami.
Or
have Mickey
maybe
announce them.
Oh, we don't. They don't. Do they do? They don't have a race in Japan, and they don't have one in like France either. Jeez.
Yeah, it's just the USGPs that they're holding out for. But yeah, we'll see. We'll report back on any developments.
I would love to see a ride. What ride is it that they have that's like that super fast one? Is that called Ferrari?
I don't know.
I think there's a Ferrari ride. It might be. Yeah, there's a Ferrari roller coaster ride, I believe, in Dubai.
Oh, okay, nice. Well,
oh wait, maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking about the wrong thing. But anyway, I think like it's supposed to be like one of the fastest roller coasters. It's some type of car brand that sponsors the ride, so that'd be cute to have like a little F1.
I know. You can race.
Right.
You can build your own F1 team and like zoom.
That'd be cute. Or like a game.
A game would be cute. That'd be cute.
A Disney.
Because they already have the F1, they have the F1 game with EA.
Yeah,
so I'm curious if they'd make a non-EA game.
We'll see.
We still
see.
All right. Listeners, we're 40 minutes into the pod and we haven't even gotten to the race. And guess what? It's because it was horrible race weekend, guys. It was bad. We're going to cover it, but let's be real. It was really bad. I'll start first with practice. Keep it cute, keep it simple. It was a fucking mess. First, we have Lewis hitting a curb and flying. Don't know what the fuck that... Don't understand why that happened.
I was like, how? I was like, they've heard so many people hit the curb. They don't fly in the air. What happened here?
He hit at high speeds. So yeah, I don't know why he did that. He also, I think, crashed into a wall at some other point. Don't know why he did that. Absolutely disastrous. Then we have Charles and Lance Stroll crashing because Lance Stroll was being an idiot. Absolutely disastrous, right? Then we have Ollie getting a 10-place grid penalty for overtaking Carlos under red flag conditions.
I thought
ridiculous.
10 places was ridiculous. 10?
Insane. I understand that's a safety concern. But I also saw that multiple other people got a pass because they were like, oh, there's nothing they could have done. And I'm like, okay, but Ollie thought there was nothing he could have done. He thought that it was safer to just keep going because he didn't think the slamming on his brakes was that safe.
I thought the grid penalties were actually kind of harsh this weekend. I felt like they were handing them out like candy. They were not easing up at all.
They were wilding out.
They were dropping the hammer.
They were. And it's wild. But good news, Charles was P1 in every single practice. Did it translate? No. But we love that for him. And then, all right, we're going to get into quali. This time, quali was slightly less boring than normal, but not that much less boring. Let's be clear.
Okay.
First up in Q1, it's the huge. Max, the McLarens, and Charles are beefing at the top. We're not even going to talk about them until we get to Q3. In Q1, the notable thing is our poor baby Kimmy, our GOAT potential Kimmy, crashing after he popped his tire.
Yeah.
Hated it for him. He was so sad. He was so upset. He made it to Q2. He didn't get eliminated in Q1 because his time was fast enough before he crashed. But he kind of fucked all the people putting in a late lap. And then obviously his car was out of commission for the rest of quali. So he ended up qualifying firmly in 15th. And the only people that he beat were Bortoletto, Behrman, Gasly, Stroll, and Colapinto. Which is very sad.
Yeah, it was sad, but at least he made it into Q2
That's
without
true.
actually, like, at least he was on such a good enough run
That
that
he
he was
made
able
it
to
in
make
Q2, which is good.
yeah,
Um,
progress.
progress. And then in Q2, our next notable thing is that George's car shut off because he lost battery power. So,
This was a horrible weekend for
for
Mercedes
Mercedes. Oh, don't
in
even get me
total.
started.
This was, I think we'll get into it when we talk about the race, but it was just a horrible weekend. And I think your car just shutting off in the tunnel should have been like, like a hint as to what the race was going to be.
Yeah, it was a mess. And then in Q1, honestly, it was business as usual.
Yeah.
The bad bitches fighting for the top position. Charles almost had it, and then got
I
fucked.
know. Seeing Charles when he got on provisional pole, I was like, yes. And then seeing Max and Oscar come up, I was like, what? Charles is going to be on pole? Charles is going to be on pole? And then Lando came in and messed it all up.
Yeah. It was so sad. We ended up having Lando on pole, then Charles and Oscar, then Lewis, and then Max. But then Lewis impeded Max during quali and got knocked down 3 places. So,
Which, it wasn't his fault. It was his engineer's fault because they did tell him that Max was not on a flying lap.
it was, and even Max was like, bro.
Yeah. Don't know why they did that to you. So that was unfortunate to see that he got a penalty. I know there are some people that are like, oh, well, it was his engineer's fault. It wasn't his fault. But I was like, at the end of the day,
You still get penalized for it.
Yeah, so I kind of get it.
I totally get it. All right, and then we have the race. Listeners, I'm not going to cap with you. This race was bad. I watched the race live, and it was horrible.
I watched it afterwards, and I struggled.
It was bad. So I'm going to hit you with the highlights. We're not doing our lap-by-lap bullshit. We're just not doing that. And the reason why we're not doing that is because there were, excluding a single fake overtake on lap 1, there were 0 overtakes on track. Zilch, zip, nada, nothing. A fat goose egg, nothing, overtake-wise. It was bad. It was quite bad. So I had to take a little bit of entertainment where I could. And with that, I have 3 stories for you that entertained me throughout, the race. Story number 1 is Yuki and Pierre crashing. Not so much a story as just a fact. They crashed at the beginning of the race. Pierre out, Yuki continued on, not doing well, but, he continued chugging along. Disappointing as per usual, but he kept going. I can see a stat that I think is spooky and scary for our boy. As of the Monaco Grand Prix, Isaac Hodger has outscored Yuki and Liam combined.
I did see that.
Which is insane. He might be in our baby goat contention.
I think so too, because he has come out of nowhere and has been consistent. He's getting out of Q2. Mm-hmm. He's doing well. Top 5, because he was he qualified in top 5 with Lewis's penalty. It pushed him to top 5, and I was just like, Isaac, good. And also just, I'm not gonna lie, to see his progression from not even be able to start his first race
to doing now, so well over
I'm
and
like,
over again.
I'm proud of you, and I'm happy to see him doing so well. I really am.
Yeah, I'm happy for him, and we all cheered. We all hoped for him.
Yeah.
My next story is George and Alex's beef on the track turned beef over a dinner table. Pun fully intended. Basically, if you know Monaco, you know that you actually don't need to drive faster on Monaco because nobody can pass you. So you can actually drive really slow all the time and just be slow. And that is what Alex and many other drivers, not just Alex, chose to do. Oftentimes to build their teammate ahead of them a pit stop window So Alex was going slow as fuck. George, pissed. Absolutely livid behind Alex. And honestly, I would be too. I would have been freaking the fuck out. So eventually George decides, I'm going to cut the chicane. I'm going to go around Alex. They can give me the penalty if they want to. And we're all thinking he's going to get a 5-second penalty, because he cut the track and got an advantage, which is a 5-second penalty. They gave that motherfucker a drive-through penalty. That's like almost a 20-second penalty, quite frankly, which is insane.
I feel like they did that because they saw that it was very much
intentional. Oh yeah, so that's why they did it.
Yeah, they were just like, nope, you trying, I see you trying, and you're not going to make a mockery out of us.
Yeah, they were pissed. And you know what? I accept that they were pissed, but honestly, I support George's wrongs in this case, because I think I would have done the exact same thing. But they ended up making up over dinner that night where Alex paid to make it up to him. Would
you have paid?
Honestly, I think that I would have paid because both of them had to suffer through Monaco. And it's one of those things where it's like, I had to do what I had to do, you had to do what you had to do. But I acknowledge that me doing what I had to do kind of fucked up your race. So
that's true. Okay.
I'll buy you a little din-din. And then last but not least is what the fuck was up with Mercedes? Absolute disaster. I think come lap 50-something, they had not done any of their mandatory pit stops. George had a drive-through penalty. Kimi was freaking the fuck out. Like, it was an absolute mess.
It feels like a lot of people gave up on that race, and that's what it feels like Mercedes did. They gave up on the race.
Yeah. And honestly,
I would have too.
I would have too.
Do you know what? This is one race where Lewis should have been like, can we tie?
Because honestly, it would have been better.
I would have just want to go and just go chill on someone's yacht and have a good time.
Exactly.
Instead of sitting here. I think I told you I didn't watch the race live, but I saw the results. And when I saw the lap time, that's when I knew this race was actually fucked. When I saw that Lewis, who came in 5th, was... Actually, I don't remember what Lewis's time was. I remember what Isaac had, because Isaac came in 6th, right behind Lewis. Mm-hmm. And he was 1 lap. 6th place, 1 lap behind Lando.
They almost double lapped
the race. I was like, are you kidding me? I think Kimi, who came in, was Kimi last in 18th?
I think so.
I believe so. He was 3 laps behind, if I'm not mistaken, or almost.
It was something
ridiculous,
behind. Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. And truly, I think...
Yes, Kimi Antonelli was 3 laps behind.
Like
everybody up to 9th was 2 laps behind, and then Isaac, Esteban, and Liam were 1 lap behind. And then Lewis, in 5th, was almost a full minute behind.
And, like, sure, the McLarens are fast. They're not that fast. No. Like, the 2 stop in Monaco just prolonged the boringness. The suffering. It made it... It just made it like, oh my God, you still have to do this? Like, can we just finish racing, finish driving? As a driver, I would have been like, retire the car. Yes. I cannot do this anymore. No, thank you. And truly, I believe this was the best example, or the best reason, I should say, for why I think Monaco should be taken off the schedule.
I think that Monaco needs to be either completely rethought or taken off the schedule.
And or like an exhibition or something.
Something where it's like, it doesn't matter. Because
you're not coming to see racing anyway.
Yeah. And the thing is, a lot of times team principals will be like, well, but Saturday just matters. And like, that's okay because it's just Saturday that matters. And it's like, I'm so sorry. Nobody's tuning in to have Sunday not matter because, as we will get to in a second, a driver specifically said, if Sunday doesn't matter, then we shouldn't race. If you're saying it doesn't matter that if nobody does any like position changes on Saturday, then you should go. Then we don't need to race. Easy.
And if we don't need to race, why are we showing up?
Exactly. But end of short, Lando won. Whoop-de-doo. Charles came in second. Oscar came in third. Max came in fourth. Lewis came in fifth. Isaac came in sixth. Esteban came in seventh. Liam came in eighth. Alex came in ninth. And then Carlos rounded up in 10th. Yeah, the amount of people that got lapped was truly tragic. This was a horrible race. And guess what? It's not us who think so. It's the drivers. Yep. All of them in their post-press said that they fucking hated this race. Hated racing it. Were so glad to be done. To the extent that George was pissed in his post-race. The last time I saw George that pissed, he was saying that Max Verstappen reacts with anger and is a violent person. That's the last time George looked that pissed in a post-race interview. Okay? Like, please. He was mad. And I thought that Max and George actually had some funny ideas. Max recommended a banana peel that they could throw out at each other. And George recommended that every driver have a sprinkler button where at one point during the race they could activate sprinklers on the track. Which, love it.
He also suggested, due to all those private planes, that some of the private planes just come in randomly, drop water on the track somewhere on the course.
Or just don't race. George also had the recommendation, we don't need to race then. We can just have 2 qualifying sessions, average our qualies, give us points that way, since racing doesn't matter at Monaco. So I think even the drivers are, like, the shine is wearing off of, like, oh, it's Monaco, and it's so great, and it's this and it's that. I had a friend recommend Joker laps, which are, like, in a rally car, every, like, let's say 7 laps, they have to take a slightly different lap path. And somebody recommended to me this, like, if every 10 laps they could take a different lap path that, like, let them, like, it was a faster one, right? And where it's like, okay, you get 7 of those in a race, right? Mm-hmm. When do you use them? Like, obviously, you should probably use them alternate to your person you're trying to overtake. Like, where do you put the, like, do you have to commit to all parts of the lap path? Or can you just commit to, like, one of the, chicane cuts? Like, like, what's the T of the different, like, Joker laps? But I thought it was a really interesting idea to... Like, I think it would be logistically maybe a little bit difficult, but I feel like you got to do something. And it's not like they're going to make the car smaller. So if you're not going to make the car smaller, you have to do something. And 2 pit stops just made our lives longer and worse.
It did. I think if you're going to... So I don't really know... I don't know what the agreement is for Monaco, like how long it's on the schedule for. I know, right?
But the answer straight up is forever, though, I think.
But Monaco has become a show. It truly has. Everyone's out there showing how much wealth they have, showing how big their yacht is, how nice their cars are, which I understand. Monaco is a city of wealth. But it's just, I think next year will be like the biggest tell. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know what the car is going to look like under the new regulations. I think if you have another race like this, because also last year we were all under like the joy of, Charles winning his first home race. But last year's race was also boring as well. And
like they brought in the only times they've been interesting are when it's so much rain that it is like a hazard to their health to race. And it's like, we shouldn't have to be almost dying for the race to be interesting.
Exactly. And I just think if qualifying and practice are the only thing that's interesting about Monaco, it's time to move. Especially when there's so many other tracks that are pretty good, like Imola. We're losing, I think Imola's a great track, and we're losing that, but we're keeping Monaco. Like, come on.
Cut it.
You need to cut it.
It's really tragic. Thankfully, it's behind us. It is in our rearview mirror. And we're on to Spain, where our technical directives kick in. And we'll see what happens.
It may be a little bit juicy. We'll see if some of the girls still acting up.
We'll see. And I actually don't have a pop culture question for us today because I'm tired and I kind of need to go. So no pop culture question today.
Oh,
short and disappointing, like Monaco.
Let's tap into when we started last week. Have you finished Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?
I am close. I have not finished.
Okay, I actually haven't watched any. I still finished 7. I haven't finished 8, 9, or 10.
I actually think I'm on 7.
Okay, so far.
I'm at whatever episode they did the Bake Off in.
I think that's 7.
Okay.
So, who's your MVP so far? And if it's Taylor, choose somebody else.
Okay. If not Taylor. Okay. I want to be very clear.
Oh, God.
But I am not saying this because she handled things correctly. I'm saying this because I love a bitch who brings drama to my television screen.
Okay.
And I fear that for being a messy bitch who brings drama to my television screen, I am enjoying that Demi has been cast on this season.
Okay.
I have, I think, a niche opinion upon Secret Lives of Mormon Wives fandom. A lot of people, and I haven't seen the last 3 episodes, so who knows what happens. A lot of people are really, really mad at Demi and Jesse. They're really pissed at Demi and Jesse over the whole Jen situation.
Yeah.
And I think that we need to remember that we live in the real world and they live in Salt Lake City, Utah. We don't live in the same reality. Us regular people can see with our own 2 big seeing eyes that Zach and Jen are in an abusive relationship and that Jen lies to avoid Zach's retribution. That is abundantly clear to, I think, anybody who's watched 30 minutes of the show. I have friends that I showed 1 episode and they were like, what the fuck is up with this? In their world, though, Zach is just a regular Mormon man, aka conservative and controlling.
Yeah.
And so to them, they think your husband's annoying, so you're just a liar. And I think the people who feel badly for Jen, and I feel badly for Jen, I'm very sympathetic to Jen.
Yeah.
I think people who feel badly for Jen take offense at Demi and Jesse calling her a liar. Mm-hmm. And they take such offense to it that they forget that Jen is a liar, though. Like, they forget that just because Jen is lying for a good reason doesn't mean she's not a liar. And it means that if somebody can't see the reason, all they see is the lies.
Yeah.
Now, should Jesse and Demi use their thinking caps? Yes, absolutely. But they're not wrong for saying that she compulsively lies. Jen lies all the time. Like, and we know why. It's because she tells the truth, and then Zach gets mad, so she recants the truth. Like, that's why she's lying all the time. But, like, she is, like, I don't think I've seen a scene without Jen lying at least once in the scene, or lying about how the scene went after the fact, right? Her saying, I don't ever only say negative stuff about Zach to you. I've never said anything that's, like, negative about Zach. Flashback to her calling Zach a ridiculous narcissist who she honestly needs to divorce. Like, that's you talking negatively about your husband. Rightfully so, queen. But I feel very sympathetic towards Jen. Hope she's doing well. Hope she's doing okay. But, like, she is a liar, and I think that if Jesse and Demi use their brains, they see why she's lying. However, in their world, that's not what's going on, and so she's just a liar who, like, doesn't want to confront her husband about their issues. And I'm like, we can all see why she doesn't want to confront her husband about their issues. But for some reason, they can't. I like Layla. I'm glad she's finally orgasming. God bless. My God. 22 years without an orgasm is 22.
2 children, divorce,
and
like
no
a marriage.
Orgasm?
Girl, what were you doing?
Sad. Truly heinous. So, happy for her. Praying for her more orgasms. Whitney is doing damage control, but she's not doing damage control in a way that is, like, that effective because she is so blatantly doing damage control where it's like, not only are you too nice, like, you aren't this nice. Like straight up, I would believe you more if you were a little bit meaner throughout the season, but also if you were genuinely sorry, you would not freak out this much when people tell you that they need time to process your sorry. She tweaks out the second anyone implies that they are not ready to take her sorry. And she does that thing that I find is the easiest way to tell you that somebody's not actually sorry for an apology they've given you. If you're on reality TV and somebody gives you an apology and you bring up the fact that you would have preferred one off camera and they say we're filming a reality TV show, they're not sorry. 100% of the time, anybody who uses production as a reason for the way they've acted towards you is not sorry. We saw it on Summer House with Jesse and Lexi, and we see it now with Whitney.
Oh, you love Summer House?
I love Summer House. We see it, and it's very abundantly clear. Whitney is upset that they're not accepting her apology, and when they bring up the very valid point of, your apology would have landed more if you had bothered to give it in between filming seasons 1 and season 2. But we had a lot of time in between season 1 and season 2, and you never felt compelled to apologize. And whenever people go, oh, well, this is a reality TV show, they forget that that's not how reality TV works. Every single Housewives season ever, where there has been beef and people have made up, like for real made up, not fake made up and then they fall out again that season, but actually made up in a way that we see moving forward. Every single time that apology was off camera and we come back into the season and they're already made up.
Yeah.
Because nobody gives an apology they genuinely 100% mean only once the season starts. They might give an apology again, right? They might double back and be like, hey, I know we talked about this, but I'm still really sorry. You know, but they don't give you the first apology they've ever given you on camera. Never. So I think Whitney just needed to balance it more with, like, you can be apologetic, but it's abundantly clear that you're also not actually being yourself. And so when it slips hard.
So one thing I will say, because I'm not going to lie, I like Whitney. I just like her brand of crazy. It's something about her. It tickles me. Like,
listeners, please don't cancel us for this. She don't know no better. Please.
I do know. Listen, there's something about Whitney. I don't know what it is. Her brand of crazy. I like Taylor, but Taylor's brand of crazy almost sometimes is a little bit sad.
It is. It's always sad, family. Girl. It's always sad.
Well, like, I mean, I think her crazy, like, when it comes to her family is what I'm saying. It's like the sometimes part. That's the sad part. With the girls and stuff like that, it's a little bit different. But Whitney is just delusional. Like, when they're trying to, like, get her to say, like, what she was sorry for, or no, if she was like, did she regret missing Macy's event?
And she was like, no, because I was in a bad mental space, and I'm like,
no, but it was like before that when she was like, well, no, because I wouldn't have known how to fix it, like, or something like that.
It's like you wouldn't have had to fix it if you had gone.
What's
wrong with you? Or even her being like, well, no, because, like, I don't regret it, and I'm not going to say I do. And Macy's like, this is one of those moments where even if you don't regret it, you should say you should say that you regret it.
But I'm just tapped. She doesn't know how to function as a normal human being. But the one thing I was actually going to say is, from what I read, is that cameras picked up almost immediately after they stopped filming season 1.
How does it track though?
Because Whitney's pregnancy from season 1 to 2.
But look how pregnant she is at the beginning of season 1. She's heavily pregnant.
Remember they had, like, a break in season 1?
Well, remember, because wasn't it in almost the finale of season 1 she stuck her nasty ass pregnancy stick into that cake?
Oh, okay. So it must have been right after it aired then.
Yes, I think it was right after it aired. And so that's why I'm saying that she had 7 months.
A few months, yeah. She had a few months.
Go say, girl, you could have, and especially if you were truly sorry, okay? Episode 1, where you were acting batshit crazy still, and you knew what was going to come out in the subsequent episodes, you could have apologized after episode 1 aired. Like, you had every opportunity to apologize, and you chose not to, and hey, That's your prerogative if you weren't sorry, but
Yeah, I think I read somewhere that she and Taylor are beefing on social.
that's not surprising.
What for? I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. But I had, so like, they've been coming, just because I've been looking up all the videos on TikTok. Mom Talk is coming up more on my social feed, on my For You page, sorry. On TikTok, it does seem like Taylor, Layla, Miranda are together a lot. Michaela and Macy are together a lot. And then Jesse's kind of floating around. So I don't really know if something's happened that creates that divide, or if maybe just Macy and Michaela are close, they're pregnant. They don't want to be in all the like Mom Talk videos right now.
I
doubt. I doubt that, because that's their bread and butter. But yeah. Also, Michaela, I feel sorry for her, but I also am tired of seeing people like saying her husband is so great. Oh my gosh, she has the best husband.
Her husband's a pedophile.
Her husband is a pedophile. That woman, especially hearing her story more so now,
gagged me. I was gagged.
I was like, you mean to tell me she was essayed till she was 15, moved out of her house,
and then immediately got pedophiled by a 21-year-old? I'm like, so you were sexually assaulted again?
I was like, and everyone's just been trying to wrap this up with a nice little Mormon bow on it.
Exactly. And
I'm just like, can we not do math? If that's something that you don't do in the Mormon culture.
No, they don't. Because then things start to look spooky.
I was just like, what? Yeah. Anyway, some of these ages, like Layla getting married at 19, frightening.
It's frightening. Now, I do have a follow-up question before we end.
Okay.
Do you think Brett cheated on Demi while she was in Italy?
I think he's acting suspicious, and I do think so. Because she was so cool about it, she didn't even care. She wasn't giving it any type of like energy. She wasn't giving any energy. And then he
kept tweaking out.
I didn't do that. I couldn't do that. And she was just like, yo.
I'm not even accusing you.
Now I'm actually thinking you did, because you won't calm the heck down.
I have the exact same point of view. I actually didn't think that Brett cheated on her. I was just like, okay, maybe he was like, or at least I didn't think that I didn't think that Brett fucked this girl. I thought maybe Brett was at the club being a little bit messy. Maybe Brett kissed a girl at the club. Whatever. Okay. That was my original thought. And then I agree with you. We get to that store where he's freaking out. And she has been insistent to the cameras, to the girls, to the this, to the that. Brett didn't cheat on me, right? And so when he kept tweaking out, I was like, you totally cheated on her. Oh my God. But then also the way that she keeps saying, Brett's never away from me. When would he cheat on me? And I'm like, when you were in Italy, bitch. And what part of when you were in Italy aren't you getting?
When they're at the baking competition and they bring up that topic, and she's like, oh, he's never more than 4 minutes away from me. We never spend more than 4 minutes away from each other. And then who was it? I think it might have been Jay. So it was like, all he needs is 2 minutes. And I'm like, shut up.
No, literally. But when did he cheat on me? Italy, girl, like the girl in the DM said.
Okay, side note too. Do you believe Marciano's recap of events?
What was Marciano's recap of events again?
Okay, so there was originally the rumor that he hooked up with Demi.
Yes.
Then Marciano comes out and says actually he hooked up with Jesse.
Interesting.
Okay, so there's going back and forth. So Demi and Marciano saying Jesse hooked up with him. And then Jesse and I think Jen, to some degree, but it's mostly Jesse, is actually saying that it was Marciano and Demi who hooked up and they're close. And she believes Demi got Marciano to lie and say it was her.
Okay. I haven't been following any of the off-camera tea, so I need to get tapped in.
You do, because then Sheena Shea entered in the Snapchat trying to back Demi's claim. But she and Demi are it's a whole thing, because Sheena Shea for some reason had everybody in Bravo's location, and she had Marciano and Jesse's location that night, that they were all together. And anyway, I'll let you
send me some links. Send me some.
I'll send you some links so you can kind of delve in. But it's ridiculous. And
I'm loving it.
Supposedly, according to Michaela, they've already picked up cameras for the third season.
Thank God.
And Demi has not been filming yet.
Well, we'll look forward to the third season, I guess. Listeners, we'll look forward to talking to you in Spain with Felicia back with us. This has been our Monaco GP recap that only featured 20 minutes on the Monaco GP.
That's all it deserved.
That's all it
That's actually
needed.
too much.
Too much. All right. Yeah. Bye, listeners.
Bye.